Welcome back to Markets of Sunshine. This is Marcia. Hope you're having a great day. I'm going to share with you this fun craft that I just came across using up our magazine pages and our junk journals and scrapbooks and what have you. Snail mail, whatever you want to use them for. So we're going to be getting out all of our magazines and whatever types of magazines you have on hand that fit with the theme of a current journal that you're working on. If you don't have a theme, then you can just go with the flow, but if you have a theme, then work with that. So what we're going to be working with today out of this one of my organic lifestyle magazines. So I am very much an eco-friendly, organic lifestyle kind of gal. And I love everything vintage, just simple, easy, money-saving, organizing, good for you, healthy kind of a life. And probably back in 2005 or 6, maybe even a little before that, I discovered Mary Jane's Farm magazine. And from there, I discovered a whole world that was true to my heart. And she lovingly calls it Farm Girls at Heart, even though she's a true blue farm girl because she lives on a farm. So the name of her business is true to her profession. And just to give you a little bit of an overview of what is in this particular magazine, just in case you'd like to pick one up in your store, Barnes & Noble, Tractor Supply Store, or subscribe. I'm not an affiliate. She doesn't have any affiliate programs, even though I've tried to get her to do some over the years. I wish she would because she gets a lot of word-of-mouth advertising from all of us farm girls, and so she does have a sisterhood, and I'm sister number 308. I started near the beginning of her sisterhood adventure, and I believe they're into the 5,000 or 6,000 now is the number I've seen lately. So it talks about farm life, organic food. There's a crafting section, so quilting and stitching and crafting, gardening, DIY, so all sorts of fun activities are in this magazine. So there's home decor, clothing, I mean just a plethora of wonderful and fun things. So I have already gone through, because if you've been following my videos, if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning, then you know that I have been working on a new journal called my Evergreen Journal. It's a fabric covered journal, all in a monochromatic green palette colors. And I do have some creams going on in here, so it's green and cream are my two colors that I'm going with in this. So before I show you any more on the inside of what we're going to be doing with the magazine, I promised you, I think in one of my past videos, I can't remember because one video I was going to upload and I was waiting for it to be edited and it never got edited, so then I accidentally deleted it. And I don't know if that was the one that I showed you and talked to you about this product, but I will share it with you today. And what I did talk about that I promised that I was going to share with you was I'm going to add color on this white area here just to get rid of some of that starkness. And a product that I have that I wanted to share with you today, that's something you may not have heard of before or not used, but this, after seeing me demonstrate it today, you may just want to run out and get it. Again, I'm not an affiliate of this company, but I will be looking into it to see if they even offer an affiliate program. So it's called Opal Polish, and it's an iridescent cream coloring. And there's, how many colors? Okay, a minute, let me let me get it out here and I'll show you exactly. So I bought all the colors that they had available at the time. So there's a peach iridescent, so it's like a peach and a pink. There's a yellow, a lighter pink, a blue, and a purple. And then the green one that I have today that we're going to work with. So I wear gloves because this thing, it tells you to wash your hands right away. This little sponge applicator fits right in the top of this. I hope I'm not too close with you. I zoomed you in, so hopefully it's not too close. And then this thing, it fits snug, but I didn't lock it back down because it's difficult for me to get it out. So you wet the sponge before you get started. And you just wet it really, really good, and then you blot it out to get the majority, you want all that moisture out. So you do, but you start it off with wet. And it does smell, and I'm very sensitive to odor because I have chemical sensitivity disorder. So I was working with it today in my bathroom, so I opened it up, took a deep breath, put it on the little applicator, put it on what I was doing so that I could show you guys, and then we'll work on it here. And then I put my head outside the bathroom door and breathed in the fresh air. And it smells to me like, when I got a little bit of a whiff, like really strong Play-Doh. That's how but more of a little bit not, Play-Doh is non-toxic. So, I mean, it smells, but it doesn't make me ill. So this has got a little bit of a chemically odor to it. So whatever it is, for me personally, I'm not saying it's harmful to anybody, but it's definitely strong Play-Doh odor is what I would classify it as. Okay, so this is called Blue Parakeet Opal Polish is what I'm working with right here. And then there's all your instructions. Just says keep out of reach of children. But I do not see anything on here that says non-toxic. So when it doesn't say non-toxic, then that means, and of course it doesn't say anything on here either about use it in a well-ventilated area. But if a product doesn't say non-toxic on here, then this is not something that you would use with children. So I would say adult use only and use it in a very well-ventilated area. So this is what I did. So if you remember correctly, I showed you in a past video that you take a fabric sheet that runs through your inkjet printer, so it's paper on the back and then fabric, and it's not glued together, so I don't know how they get it to stick together, but anyway. And so then I printed out my daughter's artwork, and then inside of another card that she had given me, I printed out what she wrote, and that's what I'm putting in the journal today. So I took the one piece and look at how pretty that turned out. So you can see the green and a little bit of a shimmery blue here. So it gives you the two-tone effect. And then on the white, as I mentioned before, so if this was a black paper or fabric, you could go over it, and like if you had a stencil, then it would give you a deeper color. But when you do it on white, it gives you the lighter color. So that is really, 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 really pretty. So this is going to go on another page in the journal here in a momento. But I wanted to show you real quick, and I'm just going to do a small section since I'm right here. And I'm going to turn my fan on. And I'm going to go and wet the sponge, so I will be back in a flash. So what I would like you to do while you're waiting on me is go and collect all your magazines. So pause the video and go collect all your gardening magazines, vintage magazines, country decor, home decor, whatever the theme of a journal that you would like to work on. Or if you just want to sit down and make ephemera with me right now, that's what we're going to do. So give me 2 seconds, let me go wet the sponge. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so I'm going to just work in this upper area here. I'm not going to get on her dress at all, but I'm just going to go in this areas here. And when you see the consistency, it's like paste. Okay, hold your breath. Okay, so you see how much I have. And you can just go like in swirls. So you see? Look at how pretty that is. And then it will give it an iridescent look. So as you move it with the light, it will get prettier and prettier. So this is just, it's so much fun. I really enjoy it. Alright, let's try a little bit more. So what I do is I open it and then I close it right back up. And turning the fan on, it's really did not bother me at all this time. So that is really good. So there you go. Look at how pretty that is. So really nice. Just adds some color in there and breaks up that stark white. So I can just come in and I can just keep adding layers and putting more layers on top of it. So let me go and clean off my little sponge now, and I shall be right back, and then we shall have some fun making the ephemera out of the magazine pages, and wait till you see what I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I'm put my little sponge back in the little top of the container. So now it's going to go back in here, and then I'm just going to keep it over on top of the wax paper. And then I'm going to take off my gloves, because I do not need those for what I shall be doing. And I put that on the other paper fabric probably an hour ago, so it seems like it's pretty dry. But I love that two-tone color effect. Can you see the blue and the green there? So this is what is so fun with this, is that you get the two colors. You don't get that from ink, you know. Your ink pads, there may be some color ink pads out there that I don't know about, but if you know of those, mention them in the comments below and let us know. If this is the first time you've seen this product, then let me know that as well, and give me a thank you for introducing you to a lovely, lovely product. You get it on Home Shopping Network. Okay, now, what are we going to make today with Marcia's little fun crafting community? All right, ephemera, ephemera, ephemera. So I have already gone through and I have taken all of the different fun pages out of the magazine. It's Kitty. And quotes, so all different fonts. So you see the different fonts. So you could cut these, you know, I'm going to use this as one piece, but you could cut it up. Some bigger pieces. And then lots and lots of flowers. I love flowers. You can't go wrong with flowers. And by the way, I extend you an invitation to join our Facebook group that is for everything to do with junk journaling and scrapbooking and quilting, called Junk Journal Junction, and I'll leave the link in the description box below. So to become a member, you have to subscribe to my channel, join my VIP coupon club, which will be in the description below, and then I will verify it, and then you can request to join the group, and then I will give you access. And I do look at your profile, and it has to be family friendly, so we want a family friendly group. And so and of course people who are into these crafting things that you're seeing on my channel, and we don't want you just coming along. I mean, if you're interested in making junk journals, you've never made junk journals before, but you want to make junk journals, you're more than welcome to. I'm not saying you have to be an established person in the crafting junk journal sewing field. If you want to learn how to sew and all those kind of things, then please feel free to join. Okay, this is a new digital download in my Etsy shop, Markets of Sunshine. The link will be below. And it comes on a sheet of 8.5 by 11, but then you can resize it. So that's what I did with this, is I scan it, and then that's how I have figured out how to resize things. I have to scan it first. So I print it out, scan it, then I can go into the program, and then it gives me the options of what size do I want. So that's how I go about it. So if you don't know how to resize things and you have a difficult time, well, that's how I figured out how to get around that. So, because it's very difficult. And in our group, once a month, we do a swap, random act of kindness swap, called RAOK. And that just means we're going to get to know each other, and we're sharing our stash. So we want to get some new things in our supplies, and what a fun way to get to know each other and to get to mix and match up our supplies. So last month was all about blue theme. I didn't specify to anything, but anything that you could use with your junk journaling. So it could be fabrics or papers. It didn't matter. Little buttons, anything. So it was all a blue theme swap, and that went very, very well. Some were new to swapping, and they had a great time. Everybody really had a great time. So we're looking forward to this month's swap, which is already underway, and it is all about floral die cuts. So I have printed off a sheet that I got from an Etsy seller, and this is going to go to my swap partner. And so I'm going to give her a variety of colors, and the only specifications that I had, I give you a start date and an end date where you have to mail out by a certain date, and then the minimum amount of what you're sending, so that way people understand, and then you get with your partner and you guys agree, you know, but my minimum amount is set, and so you know, okay, I have to send a minimum of this, and then a maximum, is the sky's the limit, but, you know, your partner and you work all that out. So these can be used. Okay, now this I took out of the Mary Jane magazine. Like I said, I've been getting her magazine, which I've sold off a lot of my back issues to the newer farm girls. And so the ones that I have kept in my personal library are the ones that have some really, really special recipes and things like that that are really sought after. So this one is perfect. It's all for vintage sewing patterns, so that's going to be used in an upcoming journal. Some more fabrics, florals. So what you can do is you separate out your images from your words. So over here I have the ones that have the wording on them, and then I have a bunch of them, which is, I have more images than I have wording at this point, but so this is what you can do. This is an easy way to sort it. And then I've already started with, like I said, what I'm sending to her. So I'm taking some of the images and I'm already putting it on cardstock for her, but some will be left. And then this was just a fabric ribbon strip for feed sack flour, you know, seed packets. So I cut those out, and I just put that on the cardstock. So that's going to go to her. And then scenery, more images, more wording. I love this one, Vintage Newsroom. Isn't that cool? More florals. Okay. This one here is really fun too. So like for a Western theme, cowgirl out, you know, on the range, whatever. And I grew up with horses, so this is really near and dear to my heart. I'm a Western saddle riding girl. Okay. This I got from another Facebook group, G. I'm sure you're familiar with her. Oh, there's a number, got those over there. And then here's some more pages. I wanted to just go through my stash that I picked out of the magazine and share with you. Now this would be beautiful, perfect. I'm trying to look at the camera so that I'm making sure you can see it. As an embroidery pattern. Isn't that perfect? I mean, if you're a sewer or a needlepoint stitcher, I mean, didn't you just immediately, when I saw the stitching here, as like right away I said, ah, I'm going to print this out, and then I will put it on the fabric sheet, put it in my embroidery hoop, and then I'm going to stitch that. Going to be cute! So I can do back stitching, some little along here. I thought I would do the French knots, some satin stitches along the way, but I mean just absolutely perfect. And then I don't even have to put her face in it. I can just do the hat, and then the outline of the flowers here is what I was thinking. So just, you know, when you see something, I mean immediately it should, something I know pops into your mind just like it does mine, and says, oh, I know what I'm going to do with that. Okay, seems like if I hold it down here, it's better taken off the shadow. So I'm trying to keep the pages down for you so that you can see it. So just, I was going through right now looking just for mainly for a lot of the flowers. There's lots of children in this one. And each issue is, of course, a different theme. All right, so now, going back to my craft project planning sheet. So to all of you who are new to the channel, when you join my VIP coupon club, you're going to get 3 free printables. The first freebie that you're going to get is a 25% off coupon club. I get stumbled over that for some reason. 25% off coupon code to use as a club member in either one of my Etsy shops. I have a vintage home decor and supplies, so you'll find lots of lace, fabrics, buttons, tools. I have some embossing, light kits and stencils, things that I'm not using by Fiskar anymore, a lot of books, applique books, crochet books, knitting books, the little, you know, pamphlets. I have, I don't know if I have the vintage patterns anymore that I'm going to get rid of. I may have a few. So I may have some vintage patterns coming in. I used to have a ton of them, and I think I gifted them to somebody or gave them to Goodwill eventually or sold them. I don't know. Somewhere along the line I could have done a swap on the Mary Jane and gotten rid of them that way, because there's a barter and a swap for them in that as well. So on my project planning sheet today, we're going to be talking about making die cuts using magazine images and then making ephemera from your magazine pages. So this, to me, opened up a whole new world of how to use magazines. And so I looked at magazines now in a whole new light. It's just exciting. So what you're going to need are any of your magazines that you have on hand. In my case, it's gardening, organic lifestyle magazines. If you have Better Homes and Garden, Good Housekeeping, you know, country. There's one that's called Frankie. I don't know if that's here in the United States. And then supplies, scissors, cardstock, wax paper, glue stick, sewing machine. I will be doing some sewing on this. And then your steps are going to be to cut out your images, tear the pages out of the magazine, cut out the images. It's much easier if you tear the page out first. I was trying to just cut it in the magazine and turn the magazine all which way, and that just got ridiculous. So I was like, okay, no, just tear out the page. And then you're going to glue it to cardstock if you so desire, or you sew it to the cardstock. And you can also layer. So this is what we're going to be doing. So as you can see, I have my project sheets, and I just printed out a new one when I need it. And if you want to go back and watch my Beebeecraft unboxing. I'm doing a YouTube product promotion with that company, and if you have 100 subscribers or more and you have a crafting type sewing DIY channel, then you can apply, and if they approve you, then they go look at it, and you have to do a certain number of videos and using the supplies that you got from them. So check that out. So another thing that I'm going to be sharing with you on my channel as something that I thought was really, really fun and different that other people are not doing. So I want to bring you value to my channel that I'm not seeing done on other ones. So my channel is going to be a product review channel. It's going to be a tutorial how-to channel. It's going to be sharing my Etsy entrepreneur experience. I've been an Etsy seller since 2008. I've had a number of shops, 2 shops that I have now. One shop is almost at 900 sales, and the other shop is a little over 800. And I've been on Etsy since 2008. But because of my health problems, I cannot do more than what I'm doing now. I could never do wholesale or large orders without having, to hire my daughter, my husband to help me. So I do everything myself, and my husband helps me some. But the majority, I do all the computer work, I do all the shipping, I do all the customer service, and I do all the making of all these things, and my cash envelope system, all those things. So the only thing he helps me do is put the snaps on the wallets, because I don't have strength in my hand. I mean, if you saw me the other day trying to open the lid on that thing, you would understand. So I have very weak hands, even though I can pinch really hard. Don't ever ask my husband if I can pinch. Oh, but that's about it. I have little vice grips for a pinch, but other than that, don't ask me to open up a jar or anything. It's like if I need to open a jar, I'm just like, well, let's move on to what else can we eat today, because we're not eating this until my husband comes home. Okay, now I had something. Where did I put that? Oh, see there? I moved stuff around because I was trying to get to the other thing. Oh my goodness, where is it? It was something good I was going to share with you. Okay, I'll find it here. It is a freebie that you can get from a company, and it is an item that you could use in your scrapbooking, card making, sewing, and I am determined I'm going to find it. I don't know where I would have put it. I moved stuff around a minute ago, so it has to be over here underneath all of this. Let me just... Give me 2 seconds. It might be behind me. Again, the Facebook group, just so that you can be writing that down while I go find what it was I was going to share with you. Is it here? Okay, this was this. Okay, yeah, here it is. I think I found it. I hope it was in this stack. Do you have stacks of stuff around? Are you like me? Okay. Okay, here's some stamps. Yes! I knew it was here. Ha 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 ha. See? And are you like me too, that you have stacks and you know that it's in one of those stacks? Don't mess around with my stacks. I know what's in them. Okay. This is what I wanted to show you. Look at this. You can get free, absolutely free, you don't even have to pay shipping, fabric swatches that are 3 by 3. So what I'm going to do is cut them in half and cut them in half. So I'll have a 1.5 by 1.5. And then I'm going to use those, or I might do it like this, where it's just cut it across this way, and then it'd be a 3 by 1.5. So, and I'm going to play around with it, but I want to show you in a future video what we're going to use these for. So the company that you can get this from, so write this down, is Backside Fabrics. So www.backsidefabrics.com. And then they have a section on there, I can't remember now if it was at the top of the page, free swatches. You click on that, and then there's a little blurb that tells you they were working on the website. So I don't know, maybe by now they fixed that, where you just pick the 10, you're allowed to pick 10 fabrics. So you pick 10 fabrics, and you're allowed to do this every 40 days. So you get 10 a year, which is, I thought was just thrilling. So I wrote down the date, that I called because I had to talk to the lady, and she was super, super nice. And so that's why I'm giving her a shout out. Backside Fabrics, woohoo! So you can get free little fabric swatches. Aren't these beautiful? And so if you want to know the colors that I chose, I'm going to read them off to you. So write these down as I'm going. And then you can see, look at how pretty these are, beautiful. I tried to pick like in a color theme, and then I was going because that selection of the website wasn't working. So then anyway, it was a little bit of a process and a couple phone calls back and forth. But anyway, we got it fixed. This is Busy Bloom Spectrum. Okay. This one is Proud as a Peacock. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I love that. This is a batik. This is Radiance Kaleidoscope. Absolutely gorgeous. Oops. Pinkville by Tula Pink Cotton Candy. Ethnic Paisley Jewel Tone. Sunflower Batik Anthology. White Multi Drop Cloth by Whistler Studios. Bubble Up Essential White Multi. Stonehenge Collection Calypso. And then Dazzle Awaken. Okay, so those were the 10 choices that I did. Now, I wasn't thinking at the time. I should have picked out better because I would have gone with my green, evergreen, but I was thinking of the floral die cut thing for the swap, and then that's what I wound up picking. But anyway, so there was a nice little letter in here, and it tells you the selection you made, so then you have a nice record there as well. So what I'm going to do is peel off the labels, which they just come right off, and then I'm going to put it on the back so then I know, again, of course, I'll be able to go to the website and see what it was I picked. But I wanted to share that with you. So I will be sharing with you as I come across these, which there are a lot more that I found, and there's jewelry supplies, there's silk floral supplies, more fabric, but some of these you have to pay shipping. Some of them they claim you're getting a sample, but it's like by the time, like the silk flowers was like you had to pay $25. I said, that's not a free sample. But anyway, I understand because as a entrepreneur person myself, I know that, when you say free,